has been a very eventful week, full of politics. In fact, I have not seen politics like this. It would look like we are getting to the climax, to the very end of it all. That 2022 is already with us here, and we are actually bringing politics to its conclusion. Now, let's begin with perhaps the most eventful, the Anne Waiguru impeachment that topped the whole thing. Before we talk about the Anne Waiguru impeachment, let's talk about the star, because this week also produced some stars. Senator Cleophas Malala proved that young men in this country, when given an opportunity, can do something. And I ask other young people, when you are given a responsibility, such as the one Cleophas Malala was given, you must know that you are not just doing it for yourself. You are doing it for your generation. Because people have begun to say, hata hawa vijana ukiwapatia kazi hakuna kitu wanafanya. So kudos Malala for coming out strongly, for chairing that committee, so that even those who are against the committee, those who had said the committee in place of plenary was already a predetermined approach to clearing Waiguru. Congratulations. But sad enough, and indeed very, very sad, when Senator Malala was starring at the national stage, his own people from Western Kenya, his own Mlembe people, instead of celebrating the work, the stardom of Cleophas Malala, who indeed was making the Luhya proud, were pulling him down, were throwing mud at him. The party called ANC, which is supposed to be the flagship party of the Mlembe nation, was, instead of encouraging and celebrating Malala for what he was doing at the national stage, was actually pulling him down, was expelling him. Now, my advice to Musalia Mudavadi, you are a national figure. Musalia Mudavadi should be playing in the Super or Premier League. I don't know about football much. Why are you going back to village football? Musalia Mudavadi is, and I think I could be very right, receiving advice from neophyte political players. You cannot surround yourself with such advisors on your way to State House. Musalia Mudavadi is a political figure who can only be mentioned in the same sentence with Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, Kalonzo Musyoka. That is his league. How can Musalia Mudavadi be misadvised by the boys who surround him? Some people could look to be mature. Indeed, some of them are my age mates. But their contact is boyish. You do not stop a plane flying. Mudavadi's plane is in the air. Is headed to State House. You do not recall it to come and fight somebody like Osozi or Malala. In any case, one thing in public affairs and in leadership, do only those things you have the power to do. You will not manage to expel somebody. The provisions of making somebody lose his seat can only be enjoyed by those in power. That's why when Uhuru moves to remove people from committees and what, that's why when Raila is now benefiting from his closeness with Uhuru, he can now remove Aisha Juma. He could not have done it. So Musalia Mudavadi should not do what he's doing. The Anne Waiguru impeachment, to go back to it, also showed one thing, that unlike other impeachments that we have had so far, this was not a war between the MCAs, the county assembly, and the governor. This was a war that was made to look like a war between the people of Kirinyaga and Anne Waiguru. But worse still, this impeachment was reduced into a Ruto-Uhuru war. And that is how this impeachment was lost. Because You dragged Uhuru into this Kirinyaga war. You dragged the handshake and BBI into this Uhuru war. If you watched Kini like I did, you did like what the Japanese did to drag the Americans into the Second World War with very deadly consequences, as we know. We don't even want to mention. So by making Uhuru feel that somebody is challenging him, the war was led by a certain family in Kirinyaga, by people who are so close to Ruto, that it came out very clearly. And I think that explains why Raila and Uhuru must have come in support Anne Waiguru. I'm not sure they did it directly, but the troops can read the signs and know that Uhuru and Raila were not for the impeachment. Why? Because he was made to feel challenged. Next time you don't do that. The next star of the week, actually 2 stars, were produced in the courts, at Mlimani Law Court. I don't know whether it's Mlimani, but the corruption court at Mlimani, I understand, my cameraman tells me. At Mlimani, the first star, Elizabeth Juma, Chief Magistrate of the Anti-Corruption Court. People are now saying in this country, the judges who speak a lot of English on the bench, if they could do half as well as that lady, half as well as Elizabeth Juma, who is the star of the week, we would actually fight corruption. The other star in that case was Muteti, I think, the prosecutor. Sitting there and watching and listening to this guy said, surely, if we were serious people, in the next 4, 5, 6, 10 years or so, I should hear that Muteti is the director of public prosecution. Or bigger things. He conducted the case in a manner that left no doubt he knew his job. He was a serious star. As to the case itself, Kenyans have gained, because for the first time, we have had a conclusion that leads to conviction. I know Grace Wahungu is a human being. My sympathies to her, my empathies to her. I know Waluke is a man, he's a husband to women, to our 2 wives, I understand. He's a grandfather, he's a father. In fact, I taught one of his daughter rather. So we empathize with him. But then there is a gain at the national level where the public feel that for the first time, something is coming out. The other star of the week, Aden Duale. Aden Duale went down. But he went down, like my people would say, Aden Duale went down like a man. He played as if he was playing according to the Shakespeare script. Shakespeare says, the world is a stage. You come up, enter the stage, and exit the stage. So Aden Duale is a star because he didn't exit like Murkomen, running around like headless chicken, throwing tantrums. Even in the Senate, as the impeachment of Waiguru was going on, it was clear that Murkomen and the likes of Kika have not cooled down. They are not in the league of Duale. Who knows that in life, you enter the stage, then you exit the stage. Kudos, Duale, for showing you are a man. The other winner, of course, was the biggest winner, who was perhaps the silent star, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, in this week, perhaps more than any other time, has firmly shown that he's in control. If there was any doubt, he has shown he's in control. Indeed, those who said had the numbers. Beyond any reasonable doubt, as lawyers will tell us in their good English, beyond any reasonable doubt, Uhuru has the numbers. It's not the other way around. I dare say, if Uhuru now wanted to impeach William Samoei Ruto, the motion, it will go through. He has the Senate, both in terms of the numbers and the leadership. It has been proved beyond any reasonable doubt. He has the numbers in the National Assembly. He has the leadership of the National Assembly. Should Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta want to impeach William Samoei Ruto, he will simply do it. However, it will be so dumb. Indeed, it will be the most stupid thing a person can do, trying to impeach William Samoei Ruto. So this week, very eventful, with the Uhuru Kenyatta family on the ground, showing people who doubted him that even the famed Mount Kenya, if you look at Duale's replacement, you begin to see that instead of that being played the way it is normally played, that you remove a Kalenjin, you put a Kalenjin, Duale's job went to Central Kenya, to Amos Kimunya, not only to rehabilitate him, no, but Uhuru is playing now with the focus on Mount Kenya. The focus is on Central Kenya. If you look at recent appointments, he's making appointments that make people mad on social media, listing people, the latest, and asking Raila Odinga, how come you are with your brother and all appointments are going to his place? Uhuru is now playing it in such a way, like I've said before, not so long, every man and woman from Mount Kenya region shall happily face Mount Kenya. I can confidently say today that all MPs will face Mount Kenya, even those in the Tanga Tanga. I can only see two men remaining standing with William Ruto. Rigathi Gachagua can survive the heat, the Madira MP. Kimani Ichung'wah, the man I call Kamau Ichung'wah, my friend, he can survive the heat. The rest, they will all melt and face Mount Kenya. And those who are doing so, like Kate Waruguru, are doing it in time to be celebrated and honored and really given accolades. Those who will come late will come in as standing passenger. You come in as a standing passenger, nobody even notices you are on bus. That is what is going to happen in Mount Kenya region. At the national stage, and I want to repeat this week tells you, at the national stage, this week tells you that if you are not with the BBI handshake team and you are not William Samoei Ruto, your goose is cooked. Anything you do, you are dead on arrival. I don't want to mention names because I've done it before. I'm telling those who are not William Ruto, and yet they are not firmly within the BBI, their goose is cooked. So, as I conclude, I must congratulate those who have done Kenyans proud, those who have shown that young men, for example, Cleophas Malala, Ndegwa Njiru, the star lawyer in the impeachment case on the side of the MCA, and yes, a small starlet, Simiyu, who was either sent, if he was not sent by my friend Murade and Tuju, to go and reserve the name Jubilee Asili, his business instinct has paid off. So Simiyu was another star who has blocked the Jubilee Asili people. And finally, like I've said, on top of those stars, Cleophas Malala, Ndegwa Njiru, Aden Duale, the small star Simiyu, the big star is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta this week for playing his game in such a way that the week ends up by concluding and removing any doubts whatsoever that those who want to oppose him must go and sit down, get serious and sit down and ask themselves the level at which this game is being played, where Uhuru has picked this game, where the ball is in the skies. Are we able to reach it? Can we jump high enough to hit the ball? Or do we just behave like Aden Duale and exit the stage as I also exit this morning?